This week is Independent Bookshop Week. Now, if you're watching this video after this week, it's still relevant because supporting independent bookshops is always important. In this video, I'm going to cover three important things. One is something to do with us, another is a book recommendation, and a third is a bunch of independent bookshops which, if you're in the UK, you need to go and support and check out and give your love and money to. First off is the big announcement from us, which is that we have a t-shirt. You can see it here. This is a t-shirt that we have had designed specifically for Independent Bookshop Week, but we will continue to sell as Books and Bow merchandise ongoing. But during Independent Bookshop Week, 25% of every sale that we make on this t-shirt will be going to a charity. The charity we've selected is Books Beyond Bars. If you don't know who they are, Books Beyond Bars are an amazing charity in the UK that send books, educational materials, magazines, etc. to queer people who are incarcerated. It's an amazing charity, and it's something that we are particularly passionate about, and we want to give them as much support as we can. So 25% of every sale that we make on this t-shirt during Independent Bookshop Week will go to the people who run Books Beyond Bars. Also, if you want to just give to Books Beyond Bars, please do. They're an amazing charity. We are so happy with how this t-shirt turned out. It's a gorgeous illustration of an interior of a little independent bookshop. We specifically asked for a little white cat to be put in it. It's a wonderful design, and I hope you'll buy one. Next thing I want to talk about is this. We were sent a really cool thing from Gallic Press. Gallic Press sent us a copy of The Reader's Room. The Reader's Room is a French murder mystery crime detective novel. Very, very, very Agatha Christie-esque. It's written by Antoine Lorraine, and if you buy this from Amazon or Waterstones or any big bookseller chain, you will get a blue copy. But if you buy this book from an independent bookseller, you get this really, really lovely, I'm not even sure what type of green this is, but it's a gorgeous green with this goldy orangey font. I love it. This is a special independent bookshop edition, and it was so cool that Gallic sent us the independent bookshop edition specifically to promote, and I love it. I've been reading this book. As you can see, I'm currently about halfway through, and it is so cozy and charming and warming. If you're a fan of Agatha Christie, this has that exact tone to it, where although it's about murder and mystery, it has that warming you in the sunshine kind of a feel to it. It's set in a publishing house, and it tells the story of the woman who runs this publishing house. She's sent a manuscript, and she loves this manuscript. She remarks on the interior goings-on of publishing houses and how many manuscripts they get and how many they say no to, and 1 in 1,000 they say yes to, and they say yes to this one, but they don't know who the author is. The author has a gender-neutral name, they only converse via email, and then the author eventually reveals in an email that there is some connection between this manuscript, which eventually gets published, and real-world murders that start happening. And our publishing director is unwittingly tied up in this purely because they said yes to publishing this thing that's now coming true. It's really short, it's about 200 pages, and it's a delightful read. I have been loving it. A few days ago, we were in London, and I tuckered myself out. I crawled into bed earlier than usual, and I thought, oh, I'll just start this book and I'll read a few pages. And I must have read 60 pages, and then realized, oh my god, I could actually just stay up all night, even though I'm completely shattered, and finish this until the sunrise. I didn't, but I could have. This book is so engrossing and charming. It has this wonderful... It's weird how murder mystery stories so often have this really charming, cozy tone to them, because that seems so at odds with the content of the story. But as I said, if you love Agatha Christie, you know what I mean. They are cozy stories, and this is absolutely one of them. The Reader's Room is charming, and get this copy from an independent bookshop. Alright, the last thing I'm going to talk about is I'm just going to run off a few independent bookshops that are in the UK that I think are worth your time. Every bookshop I mention here also features in a list, actually 2 lists that we have on our website. We have a list of independent bookshops in London and another one for independent bookshops across the entire UK, and these are all shops that we think are doing very important things for their community. A lot of them are radical bookshops, a lot of them are specialist bookshops. So you can read more about them on these lists, I'll put them in the description, but I'm just going to tell you about a few of my favorites now. Radical booksellers and specialist booksellers are very, very important. They are reaching out to specific communities and reaching out to the general public to teach them more about these communities. Unfortunately, a lot of them also come under fire, physically threatened and damaged by fascists and right-wing nutjobs who are afraid of them, I guess. Afraid of knowledge and information and kindness and community. Whatever the case, they need your help, they need your support, and they need your love. One of our personal favourites is Gaze the Word in London. Gaze the Word has been open for about 40 years, and they've been doing amazing things for the queer community. We go in there every chance we get, and Gaze the Word is full of books, fiction and non-fiction, by and for the queer community. Gay, lesbian, bisexual, asexual, transgender, non-binary, intersex, everything. Every member of the queer community is welcome here, and they have books on every type of queer topic. They have old, new, bestsellers, indie books, academic texts, comic books, everything. Gaze the Word is amazing, please go support them. Another great bookshop in London that I want to shout out is Houseman's. Houseman's is a radical bookshop that deals a lot with left-wing politics. So you'll find a lot of academic texts in there, you'll find a lot of manifestos, history books, political texts, books by radical thinkers, public speakers, journalists. And these are books that encourage a broader way of thinking. These are books that explore social change. These are books about racism. These are books about socialism and communism. These are books that highlight inequality in our world. These are books about the prison system, sexism, the suffragettes. Every radical kind of thinking, everything that demands good and important progress and change, and a discussion about how we make our lives better, these kinds of books can be found in Houseman's. Houseman's needs your support. They are a bookseller that supports queer rights and women's rights, Black Lives Matter. Every kind of important movement for good social change is supported here by the books that are sold at Houseman's. Go check them out. Very, very similar to Houseman's is Lighthouse Books in Edinburgh. Lighthouse Books is an amazing bookshop. I recently bought something from them after they came under fire. Threats of violence, etc. It's always a problem. Lighthouse is very similar to Houseman's. Again, radical, left-wing, political, queer, writers of colour, books in translation, everything that isn't straight, white, cis, het men. Go check out Lighthouse, they're doing amazing things. Another really cool bookshop that recently moved from London to Bath is Persephone. Persephone is an independent publisher and bookshop of the things that they publish. So you can go on their website and order things, or you can go visit them in their new location in Bath. Persephone take older, usually out of print, I think, books by women who've pretty much been forgotten by history and republish them and reprint them in these beautiful editions with these gorgeous end papers that look like Victorian wallpaper. A lot of the books are from the Victorian period or the early 20th century, and these are women who, usually because of patriarchy and sexism, were never afforded the amount of praise and publicity that they should have gotten in their time, and now you can go read them. These are women who are all but forgotten to history, and Persephone gives them another chance. And before this goes on too long, I'm going to recommend one more, but again, you can find way more awesome independent bookshops in the UK in the lists in the description. Another one is Category Is Books. This is in Glasgow, and it is a queer bookshop. They are supporting trans rights, queer rights. They are selling us books and giving us a safe space to talk about books that are all queer in some way. These are LGBTQ books of every flavour. Again, like Gaze the Word, these are books about being non-binary, about being transgender, about being gay or lesbian. There is every type of queerness covered here, and it is a very welcome space for queer writers and queer readers. Please go support them if you're in Glasgow. Alright, that's it. Happy Independent Bookshop Week. Please consider buying one of our t-shirts. We have a men's shape and a woman's shape. Buy whichever one you want for your body size and body shape. We would really appreciate your support. We would really appreciate you also supporting Books Beyond Bars. 25% of every sale goes straight to them. Go to an independent bookshop, give them your money, give them your love, support queer writers, writers of colour, writers in translation, support independent publishers. Go read The Reader's Room, it's really, really great. Support Gallic Press, they're great too. This is a really important week for us. It's a really important week for everyone. Independent bookshops are the backbone of every community. Go show them your love and support and buy our t-shirt. All right, have a good time. Have a good independent bookshop week and subscribe for books.